Good morning, muscles! It's Mr. Fallon. Today is Friday. Today is going to be an amazing day. Welcome to Good Morning Muscles, your daily Kickstarter for what's going to be an outstanding day. Boys and girls, Good Morning Muscles is uploaded on It's Mr. Fallon's YouTube page every morning, 6 o'clock. First thing you do when you wake up, turn on YouTube, get on Good Morning Muscles, do it, get stronger, and just set yourself up for what's going to be an outstanding day. Let's get this started! Boys and girls, let's get warmed up. And today, we're going to have a special Shoutbox warm-up. Our special Shoutbox warm-up today is a household chores warm-up. Household chores warm-up? Why are we going to do that? Because this is something that you can help out with at home. And boys and girls, believe it or not, doing some household chores, they help you get stronger. So we're going to do a household chores Shoutbox warm-up. This is how it works. Anytime you hear a number 1, we're going to sweep the floor. Anytime you hear a number 2, we're going to sweep the floor, wash this dish, wash this dish. Anytime you hear a number 2, sweep the floor, wash this dish, wash this dish. Anytime you hear a number 3, we're going to sweep the floor, wash this dish, and vacuum. When we vacuum, we're going to vacuum all the way around in a circle. Anytime you hear number 3, let's do it again. We're going to sweep the floor, wash the dish, and vacuum around in a circle. And lastly, if you hear a number 4, we're going to sweep the floor, wash the dish, vacuum the floor, and take out the trash. And you're going to run forward and back. Number 4, let's try that again. Sweep the floor, wash the dish, vacuum the floor, take out the trash. Run forward and back. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. 2, sweep the floor, wash the dish. Sweep the floor, wash, vacuum, garbage. 3, sweep the floor, wash, vacuum. 1, sweep. 2, sweep. Wash, 3, sweep. Wash, vacuum. 1, wash, vacuum. Sweep, wash, vacuum. Sweep, wash, sweep, wash, sweep, wash, sweep, wash, vacuum. Garbage! Sweep, sweep, wash, sweep, wash, sweep, wash, vacuum. Sweep, 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 wash, vacuum. Sweep, wash, sweep, wash, vacuum. Sweep, sweep, wash, vacuum. Sweep, wash, vacuum. Sweep, wash, vacuum. Garbage! Sweep, wash, vacuum. Sweep, wash, vacuum. Sweep, sweep, wash, vacuum. Sweep, wash, vacuum. Garbage! Sweep, wash, vacuum. Garbage! Sweep, wash, sweep, wash, vacuum. All right, awesome job. Boys and girls, a special challenge for you today and this weekend. See how many chores you can help your parents out with. It'll help you get stronger. It'll help your parents, help them be nice and happy, and everyone will just have such a great time. Try the challenge. Boys and girls, I wonder if you like to ride your bike. If you like to ride your bike, there's something you must always have, and something Mr. Fowland always has when I ride my bike. I have my helmet. Now, boys and girls, the reason why it's so important that you have a helmet and why you must have a helmet is because doctors are great at fixing a lot of things. If you hurt your leg, doctors are great at fixing it. Or if you hurt your arm or your shoulder when you're doing something, you can go to the hospital and doctors can fix you. But inside your head, you have your brain. And unfortunately, doctors aren't great at fixing brains. So that's why you must wear a helmet. Now, all right, boys and girls, it's now time for Spot Run Story Time. We're reading Wayside School Gets a Little Stranger. We're on Chapter 10. It's all about Mr. Gorf. Mr. Gorf, muttered Joy as she walked down the stairs to recess. Did she say Mr. Gorf? Mauricia nodded. Leslie caught up to them. Did she say Mr. Gorf? I think so, said Mauricia. Do you think? Leslie asked. I don't know, said Mauricia. I hope not, said Joy. Before Mrs. Jules ever came to Wayside School, the children had a teacher named Mrs. Gorf. She wasn't very nice. Even Myron was worried, and Myron had never gotten in trouble in his whole life. Mr. Gorf might be a good teacher, said Eric Bacon. Just because he has the same last name as Mrs. Gorf doesn't mean he'll be horrible. That's right, said Eric Ovens. People with the same name can be different. I agree, said Eric Fry. There are probably lots of people named Gorf, Damon said hopefully. I bet if you looked in the phone book, you'd find 10 whole pages of Gorfs. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not coming to school tomorrow, said Joy. Me neither, Mauricia agreed. But the next morning, their parents made them go to school. Everyone arrived on time. Nobody dared to be late, but there was no teacher. Dee Dee sat down next to Myron. Is he here? She whispered. Shh, whispered Myron. He folded his hands on his desk and stared straight ahead. One by one, the children entered the classroom and quietly sat down at their desks. They couldn't take any chances. Mr. Gorf might walk through the door at any moment, or maybe he was already there hiding in the coat closet just waiting for someone to do something wrong. I didn't want to come today, whispered Calvin, but my parents made me. Shh, said Bibi. He might hear you. Mr. Kidswatter's voice came over the PA system. Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, Mr. Kidswatter, the children all answered together like good little boys and girls. They listened attentively to their principal. Then, when Mr. Kidswatter was finished, they took out their arithmetics and started working. After that, they did social studies, reading, and spelling. When the recess bell rang, the children put their books neatly in their desks, quietly lined up, and walked out the room and down the stairs. So how's your substitute teacher? Asked Louis out on the playground. Tough, said Bibi. I never worked so hard in my life. I did more work before 10 o'clock than most people do in a day, said Calvin. But he's very fair, Myron quickly added, just in case Mr. Gorf was listening. He might have been hiding in the bushes. Yes, he's nice and fair, and a very good teacher, said Jenny. Very smart, too, said Dee Dee. We're lucky to have him. Louis twisted the end of his mustache between his fingers. At recess, the children returned to class and worked until lunchtime. At lunch, they ate all the food Miss Mush served them. Their manners were perfect. Mr. Gorf might have been hiding under the table. After lunch, they returned to the class and practiced their handwriting. Myron looked around. All of a sudden, he got a terrible urge to do something. Anything. Ooga booga, he said. Jenny put her fingers up to her lips. Biff, boof, boof, said Myron a little louder. Shh, said Jenny. Myron stood up. No, he shouted. I don't have to be quiet. Everyone tried to get Myron to hush up. Myron climbed on top of his desk. Look around, folks. There's no teacher. We're doing all this work for nothing. Get down, whispered Allison. Do you want to get us all in trouble? Myron jumped on top of Allison's desk. Hi, Allison, he said. Then he hopped over to Dee Dee's desk and Ron's, then Mauricia's. Please, Myron, said Mauricia. This is fun, said Myron. He made a great leap and landed on top of the teacher's desk. Mrs. Jules had always kept a can full of Tootsie Roll Pops on her desk. It was still there. Hey, anyone want a Tootsie Roll Pop? Asked Myron. Everyone stared at him. Myron took one for himself. He sat in the teacher's chair with his feet up on the teacher's desk and sucked on it. Please stop, Myron begged Jenny. What if he's hiding in the closet? Get real, said Myron. Why would he hide in the closet? What if Mr. Gorf was married to Mrs. Gorf? Asked Allison. Myron laughed. Who would ever want to marry Mrs. Gorf? He asked. Somebody had to marry her, said Rondi, or else she wouldn't have been a Mrs. What if he loved her very much? Asked Allison. And then one day she didn't come home from work and he never saw her again and he didn't know what happened to her, but he knew she used to teach this class, so he might be hiding in the closet to try to find out if we're the ones who got rid of her. If I was married to Mrs. Gorf, said Jason, I'd be glad she never came home. He should thank us. Nice going, Jason, said Jenny. If he's hiding in the closet, you just told him we're the ones who got rid of his wife. Well, if I didn't, you just did, said Jason. It doesn't matter, shouted Myron, because Mr. Gorf is not hiding in the closet. Myron went to the back of the room, opened up the closet door. A man stepped out. Thank you, he said. I accidentally locked myself in here this morning, and I've been waiting for somebody to open the door. Myron swallowed his Tootsie Roll Pop. stick and all. So Mr. Gorf was in the closet the whole time. Oh boy, I can't wait to find out what happens next. Here's our steps for today. Alright, have you heard this one before? What's worse than finding a worm in an apple you're eating? Finding a half-eaten worm in your apple you're eating. Ah! That would be so gross! Hey, you know what time it is. Game time! Let's go! Alright, for game time today, we're finishing up with basketball today. It's our last day that we're going to be practicing basketball. The last couple of days we've been working on tons of basketball skills. We worked on some dribbling, some ball handling, some passing. Yesterday we worked on some shooting. If you missed any of those, go back and watch them. So much fun. We got so strong. Today we're going to work on a special type of basketball shot called a layup. Now to do a layup, this is the basketball shot that you would do if you were playing a basketball game and you were very close to the basket. This is how it works. Mr. Fallon wants you to stand really close to your basket over here, and you're going to take one step, jump, and shoot it with one hand. This time you're going to shoot your ball with one hand. Watch again. And when Mr. Fallon shoots, I'm going to get my knee up really high. One step, jump, and shoot. And Mr. Fallon's going to try to make it bounce off the wall and into the basket. This is how you do a layup. Watch again. Now when Mr. Fallon does it, I want to shoot it with this hand that's closest to the wall. So if I'm standing on the right-hand side of the basket, I want to use my right hand. It looks like this. Here's my step, and jump, and shoot. I'm shooting it with just one hand. Watch again. One step, jump, and shoot. Now, boys and girls, to get the footwork down right, you want to step with the same foot that you are shooting with. So if I'm shooting with my right hand, I'm going to step with my right foot. And then when I jump, I get my left knee up in the air really high. Let's watch again. Step, jump, and shoot. And I shoot it with one hand, and I'm going to try to bounce it off the wall and into the basket. Again, step with my right foot, shoot with my right hand. Get my knee up nice and high. And boys and girls, if you didn't cut out the bottom of your box, you could do that. It helps you be a little bit easier so it comes back down to you. Big step, jump, and shoot. This is our basketball layup. Now Mr. Fallon's going to go over to the other side. This side's a little bit harder for Mr. Fallon to use his left hand. Now my left hand's closest to the wall, so I'm going to shoot it with this hand. I'm going to step with my left foot, get my right knee up in the air really high, jump and shoot. And that is a basketball layup. Here we go again. Just like that. Big step with my left foot, right knee up in the air, jump and shoot. Boys and girls, that's a basketball layup. If you're able to do it with your paper ball, your tape ball, then you can try it with your tennis ball. Now Mr. Fallon can try 2 dribbles and then shoot it. Dribble, dribble, and then back over to the right side, so step with my right foot, jump and shoot. Oh, so much fun. Dribble, dribble, step and shoot. Missed. Dribble, dribble, big step with my right foot, jump and shoot. That's my basketball layup. I'm going to try over on my left side. Dribble, dribble, step with my left foot, jump and shoot. And one more. Dribble, dribble, step with my left foot, jump and shoot. Boys and girls, practice it. Get so good. Oh, it's that time of the week again. Good Morning Muscles is over with for week 3. I don't believe how fast these days are going. But wow, I feel so much stronger today than what I did on Monday. You look so much stronger than you looked on Monday. Wow, I can barely recognize you. Try not to hurt somebody with those huge muscles you have. Hey, this weekend, get outside, practice, play a bunch. It's going to be fun. And I look forward to seeing you back here Monday morning for Good Morning Muscles. Have an awesome day and a fantastic weekend. Muscles! Ow,